Hello, I'm really pleased to welcome you to CAFRE's beautiful Greenmount Campus, which is only 20 miles from Belfast and halfway between the historic town of Antrim and Belfast International Airport. I'm standing outside this very impressive manor house, which opened its doors to its first students in 1912. It has grown considerably since then, with over 1,000 students now studying a range of courses in agriculture, horticulture, floristry, land-based engineering and veterinary nursing. Greenmount really has superb facilities. This, combined with staff that have a very close association with the agri-food industry, has led to Greenmount having an internationally recognised reputation for excellence. In fact, many of the leaders in the agri-food industry today have passed through these doors and accredit Greenmount for their success. But perhaps more importantly, it wasn't just the learning they remember, but the lifelong friends and crack they had while they were students here. And that hasn't changed. The campus is still buzzing, and there is a real sense of community spirit here, which people will remember long after they graduate. It is a beautiful place to study with a lot of investment in teaching and learning resources, and it doesn't stop there. Over the next number of years, there will be even more investment in new staff and student accommodation and science facilities. Greenmount really is the place to be and has lots to offer. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy our virtual tour.
Good evening everyone, and a very warm welcome to our virtual event for land-based engineering at CAFRE. My name is George Moffat and I am the Head of Agriculture Education in the college. CAFRE is the College of Agriculture, Food and Rural Enterprise, and we are an integral part of the Department of Agriculture, Environment and Rural Affairs in Northern Ireland. CAFRE has three campuses: Enniskillen Campus in County Fermanagh, where the focus is on equine education and part-time agriculture; Lochary Campus in Cookstown, where we deliver courses in food technology and our postgraduate provision; and then Greenmount Campus in Antrim. And at Greenmount Campus we deliver education courses in agriculture, horticulture, land-based engineering, veterinary nursing and floristry. The education courses delivered at CAFRE are all very applied in nature, and as a result, learning by doing is a frequently used phrase. The facilities that have been developed at each campus really reflect the practical nature of the courses that we deliver. We also have very strong links with industry and are proud to say that after graduation, 90% and over of our graduates are either in employment or in further study 6 months after they finish their course. The focus this evening is on the land-based engineering course that we deliver here at Greenmount Campus, and along with me this evening to help me tell you about this course is course manager Bernard McCluskey, and we'll hear more from Bernard later on. Normally each October we open the gates of CAFRE and at Greenmount Campus and invite students and prospective students and parents and guardians onto the campus to tell them about the courses that we have on offer and to let everyone see the facilities that are on campus here. Unfortunately, that's not possible this year, and over the next 30 minutes or so we want to tell you about our land-based engineering provision, and we'll do that by talking to the course manager, interviews with current and past students, and virtual tours of the facilities and our teaching and residential accommodation. This is a live event, so as we go through this evening, please give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, please submit those as well, and we'll do our best to answer them during the presentation or later on after the event is finished. So please sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy our presentation. Bernard, I'm going to come to you first of all, and to say Bernard is the course manager for our land-based engineering provision. Bernard, could you tell us a wee bit about yourself and then how you arrived in the current post that you're in?
Thank you, George. I've done various mechanical engineering roles throughout my career. From service engineer to design engineer. I was a design engineer in industry for over 7 years, and I'm now found myself in education this last few years here now. So,
okay, thank you. And Bernard, if we focus now on the land-based engineering course, can you tell us a little bit about that course?
It's a level 3, a 2-year full-time course. There's a good mixture of theory and practical skills contained within the course. Mostly taught up in the Machinery and Building Centre, or as we call it, the MBC. And a key element of this course is also the work placement. It's a 1 day per week work placement, which the students start on the second semester of their first year, and then they carry that on through to the end of the course.
Okay. And Bernard, you mentioned the Machinery and Building Centre, which is a key component and a key facility for the delivery of this course. Can you elaborate a wee bit on that facility?
The Machinery and Building Centre is a purpose-built facility for land-based engineering students. There's 3 workshops dedicated to the land-based engineering. Within them workshops, George, you could find everything you expect to find in a typical workshop, from your spanners to your sockets, impact guns. But then we have more, specialised equipment as well, also, such as we have diagnostic software. That could be to diagnose a fault on a tractor, for example. Other equipment we have is a dynamometer, so that's what the students can use to do tests on tractor. They can test horsepower and test all sorts of other various parameters that the tractor may have, and use that as part of their studies.
Okay. And what would a typical day or week be like for a land-based engineering student?
Excuse me. As mentioned earlier, there's a good range of practical and theoretical skills. So maybe a good example could be, in the morning you could have a lecture where you'd be learning the theory of engines. That afternoon you could go into the workshop whereby you would strip an engine apart, and part of the assessment of that module will be to put the engine back together again, and that's how the module is marked if the engine is running and in full working order at the end of the assessment.
Okay. And I imagine, Bernard, that as well as knowing the basics about engine repair or engine maintenance, the students get an opportunity to experience some of the latest technological developments in land-based engineering.
Yes, there's lots of within the industry. There's lots of technological advancements, and that comes through your diagnostics and your software that's used for that. And we broach onto that on the course, and there's actually a module on the course about electrics and electronics. So while the students learn about that, they're learning about all the new technological advancements that are available in industry.
Okay, thank you. And Bernard, for someone listening tonight who's thinking about applying for the course, are there any fees that the student would pay when they enrol on the land-based engineering course?
There are no tuition fees for the FE land-based engineering courses, the further education land-based engineering course. The students do have to pay for their accommodation and meals on site, but there's actually a good system here where you install your money on a card and then you can go to the canteen, and it's all fairly well systemised. You can apply for a means tested grant through the Education Authority, but there's no actual tuition fees.
Okay. And again, someone listening who is interested in applying, where can they find out further information about the course?
There's lots of information available on the CAFRE website. There's actually a voiceover presentation on their land-based engineering as well. That tells you a whole broad range of items that you need to know about the course. I'd advise anybody that would like to, that's thinking about embarking on the course, to go onto the website and look at that voiceover PowerPoint. There's also the FE prospectus within your school. But also, other than that, feel free to contact me at any time. My mobile number and email address is all available on the website. So if you contact me, I'll answer any questions you may have.
That's great, Bernard. Thank you. And we'll come back later on with a few more questions. So Bernard has told us there about the course, how it's delivered and a typical day in the life of a student. And we're now going to hear from one of the current students that are on the land-based engineering course. That is David Henderson. And David is a first-year student, and David's going to tell us a little bit about his career and his path to land-based engineering over the next few minutes.
So David, thanks for doing the interview for us here. Just a few questions for you. So why did you decide to come to Greenmount to the land-based engineering course after you left school, or instead of going on to school?
Well, 5 years was enough for school for me. I wasn't going to go on to do A-levels, but no, I hated going to school every day, and then I knew I wasn't going to go back to A-levels, so I was either going to go to the Tech or do a course at the Tech, or Soma Tech would be closest to me, or else come here. I'd thought about doing agriculture here, and then there was a careers advisor come in from Greenmount, and he'd gone through the different courses, and this was one of the courses that caught my attention, and I looked into it then, and I went up to open day seen it, that definitely was something that caught my interest. So I applied for it then when I was leaving school, and things just went from there.
Very good. What do you enjoy most about the land-based engineering course there? Do you get to know many people and so on with the similar interests?
Well, there's people I've never come across before in my life. There's people from all points of the country, but you get to meet new people and you get to learn new things, and people do things differently than you do, and you get to learn about what people, different people, and you meet new people. So it's definitely good to make new friends all around the place.
So what do you enjoy most about the course itself then?
Well, I think same as anybody, they all prefer working in the workshops and screwing, fixing different things in the workshop and taking things apart and seeing how they work and all that there.
Okay, so what would a typical day at Greenmount be like? You know, you've both practical and theory there. Talk me through the practical and theory and how that works on a day-to-day basis.
Well, 2 days a week we're in the classroom, and then 3 days we're in the workshop. It's fairly even. You know, if you wake up for class normally at 9:15 or so, you go in, you learn whatever theory you have to learn, you get it over and done with, assignments and different homeworks and stuff, and then the workshop, up the workshop at 9 o'clock, and you're out again at 5 o'clock. That depends what you're at.
So the course itself is a blended approach of theory and practical applications there. What do you enjoy both in the theory and in the practical?
Well, the theory, you get to learn, you know, you might have an idea how something works, but you get to learn every last detail, and you see diagrams and stuff, and you know what different figures of what stuff, like what kind of statistics things should be at, and then that comes in hand in when you're in the workshop. Then you're fit to refer and see, you know, compare, you know, if you see something's down in power or you see if something's not working right, at least you learn what it should be like in the classroom, and then when you're in the workshop then.
Very good. And would you recommend this course to somebody, if you knew somebody that's similar interest to yourself, would you recommend this course?
I definitely would. No, it's definitely a good course to do. If you're not interested in school, if you have no interest in doing all that, then what's the point in doing it? But this is equivalent to A levels anyway, so you may as well go on to something that suits you better, or something you're a bit more interested in.
Okay, David. Well, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again. Thank you.
Thanks to David for that comprehensive overview of the land-based engineering course and his time to date at CAFRE. Bernard, I'm going to come back to you now and just a further question that I would like to ask, and that is, someone applying for the course, should they have experience of any kind before they enrol?
We do ask all prospective students to have a prerequisite 40-hour work experience. Now, this could be a garage or a flagship dealership or somewhere where they can just get 40 hours of mechanical experience just to get a flavour of what it's about, to get an idea of what they will be doing when they come to the course. We're not tying them to a full week in a block. You know, if they want to do it over a number of Saturdays or school holidays or whenever they can fit it in just before they come on the course, it's something that we strongly advise that the students do.
Yeah, and Bernard, that experience will be discussed then when a student would come in for interview. Yes, it would.
Yes, we would discuss that with interview and maybe help the student to arrange that or talk to the student about where they could possibly do that and then take it from there.
Okay, that's great. Earlier on in the presentation, Bernard mentioned about the Machinery and Building Centre and the amount of time that is spent by students in that building on their practical activities for the course. So we're now going to go on a virtual tour of the MBC along with Peter Verhoeven, who's one of the teaching team on the land-based engineering course.
Hi there and welcome to the Machinery Building Centre here at Greenmount Campus. My name is Peter Verhoeven and I am one of the lecturers on the land-based engineering course. CAFRE's ethos is learning by doing. As a result, we have very experienced staff and excellent practical facilities to support what you learn in the classroom. The Machinery Building Centre, otherwise known as the MBC, is where you as a land-based engineering student will spend a lot of your time developing knowledge and skills which are key to a successful career in the industry. Our facilities and equipment are very similar to those you will find in a modern machinery dealership. In the MBC, there are 3 workshops and classrooms. You will do some of your theory classes and all of your practical skills here. This is also the home of CAFRE tractor simulators, which are really good for training people to use a range of farm equipment in a safe virtual environment. To develop your practical skills, students have access to a wide and varied range of farm machinery, including a number of tractors from several manufacturers, wheel loaders, self-propelled forage harvesters, a combine harvester, and many other agricultural implements that are used on the Greenmount farm. Each of the 3 workshops focuses on different skills. Workshop 1 is used to carry out practical skills on hydraulic systems, using the small wheel loaders, vehicle systems, inspection and repairs, that is, your steering and brakes. You'll also get the chance to inspect and repair a combine harvester. Workshop 2 is where you'll undertake the task of completely stripping down and rebuilding Perkins diesel engines, work on and get a better understanding of electrics and electronics, and get the chance to strip down things such as alternators and starters. This workshop is also used for application, cultivation and drilling equipment such as slurry tankers, fertilizer spreaders, ploughs and drills. In Workshop 3, which is by far the biggest, there are 8 welding bays which you will develop and improve your welding and metalwork skills. You'll get the opportunity to use the electronic diagnostic equipment to identify faults in a modern tractor. Additionally, you'll get the chance to strip and rebuild semi-power shift transmissions and work on forage equipment including mowers, rakes and self-propelled forage harvesters. During the year, you'll get out and about on several industry visits. We also invite manufacturers, dealers and suppliers to host practical activities for you here on site. It's a great way to meet key people from industry who may be your future employer. Finally, 2 of the most popular clubs on campus for students are the Engineering Club and the Motor Club. The Engineering Club offers you the chance to work on your own engineering project, which can be anything from a log splitter to a cab trailer. Whereas the Motor Club allows you to service, repair and get a better understanding of cars. Both clubs are run in the evenings and are supervised by a number of CAFRE staff who have an interest in engineering and cars. I hope you now have a better idea of how fantastic the facilities here are at Greenmount, a key part of the land-based engineering course. Students who apply for the course are very passionate about machinery, so this is an ideal place for you to study.
Hopefully the virtual tour has given you a great oversight of the facilities that are available to students on the land-based engineering course and the range of activities that they are involved in while they're studying here. Bernard, I'm coming back to you again and just a couple more questions that I want to pick up on, and I'm thinking of questions that normally would be asked at an open evening. Firstly, Bernard, what are the entry criteria for the course?
Minimum 4 GCSEs, grades A to C. It's imperative that you get maths and English, and obviously with this being an engineering course, there's more of an emphasis on your maths. But I can't emphasise how important it is to get the maths and English, and to give yourself the best chance of getting onto the course, get yourself as good a range of GCSEs as possible. Okay, thank you. And I mentioned an interview earlier. Can you tell us a little bit more about that process? Well, the interview is really a general discussion between ourselves and the prospective students about the course and what's involved. It's just an introduction basically for us, between us and you, to get a bit of an idea, to show you around, see what you think, and just to get you basically enrolled on the course. Mm-hmm. And that's an event that we'd like parents to come along to as well? Yes, parents always come along. We'll take maybe 10-15 minutes with the student and then take the parent in as well along with the student for the last 5-10 minutes just to summarise everything that was said during the interview. Okay, thanks Bernard. So we've had a tour of the practical facilities for the land-based engineering course, but the students also spend time in class, they spend time in the library hopefully, and for many Greenmount will be their home during their time in the course. So we're now going on another virtual tour, this time with William Hendry. William is a foundation degree student, and William's going to take us on a tour of teaching facilities, our library and the residential accommodation.
My name is William Hendry and I'm a first year student here in the foundation degree in agriculture and technology course. I would like to show you around and let you see what's on offer for students who choose to live on campus. The under 18 students live in either Boyd or Fulton Hall. The bedrooms in Boyd Hall are ensuite and are cosy and comfortable, while Fulton Hall has a single study bedrooms which are shared bathroom facilities for a small number of students. The over 18 students stay in the self-catering accommodation in the student village, either in one of the bungalows or a lodge. Around 12 students live in each of the lodges and 3 in each of the bungalows. The bedrooms in the lodges are all ensuite and there is a shared kitchen, sitting room, laundry facilities. Every evening, students living in campus accommodation are looked after by the residential support team. These staff, with the Student Representative Council, arrange activities for the students like going to the cinema, ice skating, various sporting activities or outings to Belfast. There is a gym in Greenmount Resource Centre and Sports Hall as well. The residential support team also look after the safety and security of students when they are on site. The main place to eat on campus is the Manor Restaurant, which is open throughout the day from 8 in the morning to 6 at night and provides a great range of meals. Cyber Cafe, which is in Greenmount Resource Centre, also offers snacks and drinks from 10 in the morning, so there's absolutely no excuse for anybody to go hungry. Most under 18 students have a cater card, which their parents or guardians preload with money so you don't have to carry cash about, which is very handy. One of the main places on campus for classes and recreation is the Greenmount Resource Centre, or as we call it, the GRC. This is where most of the classrooms, lecture theatres and IT suites are. The Student Services Manager, Leslie Ann's office is here too, and she can help with any queries or issues you may have. Also, this is where some of the residential support team are found in the evenings. The Cyber Cafe is also located in the GRC and serves food, which is also the main social hub for students to hang out. There's TVs, pool tables, football, as well as table tennis and computers to play games on. The core to any college is the library, and I have to say, all the students love the newly refurbished library here at Greenmount. It has a great selection of relevant journals and books, as well as an extensive collection of e-learning materials. The library is also a great place to study if you want just a bit of peace and quiet. Greenmount is only 3 miles away from the town of Antrim. It has everything you will need in terms of shopping, cafes, restaurants and entertainment, and it is also around 30 minutes from Belfast. When you live on campus, it is so easy to make friends and there is a real sense of community. Living away from home has made me much more independent, and I love the freedom of doing my own thing. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and maybe I will see you here next year.
Thanks to William for that quick tour of our residential and teaching accommodation, and hopefully that's given you a good flavour of life at Greenmount Campus, what it means to study here, and more importantly what it means to live here during your time as a student. And William mentioned the resident support team, and they are there really to support students, particularly in the evenings in accommodation. But another important post I want to mention, and which is available to every student, is the student support officer. And that person is there to help students settle into student life, to help them with their learning, and in particular to help arrange any additional support a student might need, particularly if they have specific learning needs. And normally when a student enrolls in a course, if they need to get additional help, they will meet with the student support officer, and that help will be put in place for the duration of the course. We've heard a lot about the course this evening and how it's delivered and what students learn. Now we're going to think about what happens after students graduate from land-based engineering, and we're going to speak to and hear from former student David Mortimer, who comes from Melton in Donegal and whose family runs a machinery dealership business in Donegal.
Good morning, David. Thank you very much for joining us here today. You start off you graduated there last year out of Greenmount after doing the land-based engineering course. Could you tell me where you're logging in from today, and could you tell us a bit about what you're doing now after the land-based engineering course at Greenmount?
I'm just at home here today at Melton, County Donegal. Just After I finished Greenmount, I went on to do a degree course in Tralee.
How did you first hear about Greenmount before you came?
I heard of Greenmount. There was students in us doing placement doing the same course, and heard of them doing it, and I looked it up then. That's how I heard of it, really.
And like, what were your impressions as a new student? Like, how did you find it? And like, was this your first time away from home? And
It would have been the first time away from home, yeah, but definitely Greenmount was a spot now. It was first impressions. It was nothing must, like everything was there you wanted.
good facility.
Facilities and everything you wanted.
What topics or areas about the course did you enjoy most?
I'd say the engines with Kenny and that was good, and doing the hydraulics and brakes with Al was good, and even the theory end of it was very doable too. Like, it wasn't tricky, it was interesting.
You have a business at home, a mechanical business at home. I suppose, did you find that the knowledge and skills that you were taking from Greenmount complemented what you were doing at home too? Did it?
It was that it all tied in, like it was.
If I had to ask you a wee bit about your time at CAFRE, what would you say?
I was definitely enjoyed it, and even the boys I was in the course by, when you're chatting to them, they enjoyed it too. They always be chatting the times and the cracks you had. Like, the study tour was good, and it was good to France for a week and try and see my show and Massey Factory. You had plenty to do. You had the engineering club and that kept you going, and on the Kellys there in the West Night was good to get out.
And I enjoyed the engineering club. That's where you're able to make, your own product in your own time during the evenings, just to further your skills. If you had to give one piece of advice to fellow students that are maybe about to embark on the course, what one piece of advice would you give them?
I'd say go and do it and stick into it.
Yeah.
Anything like a study tour, go and do it.
Well, David, I think that will bring this to a close then with that, and I would like to thank you very, very much for taking a wee bit of time out of your day to do this with me, and I wish you all the very best for the future.
For taking time out of his schedule to talk to us and tell us about how he has used the course he completed at Greenmount to further his own studies in land-based engineering. And Bernard, if I come back to you again, David completed the land-based engineering course here and progressed to complete an honours degree.
Yep.
What other options are there available for land-based engineering graduates?
There are three main routes students can take, George. One is they can go straight into employment as a service technician. The other one is they could go and do an apprenticeship with a company, or as you say, they could go down the third level education route. So the third level education route could maybe consist of a number of engineering courses such as engineering management, mechanical engineering, agricultural engineering. So there's a good broad range of progression opportunities for any student that leaves with level 3 in land-based engineering.
Thanks, Bernard. And a student that moves into employment, say as a service technician, are there opportunities then to advance within that career?
Well, with the amount of technological advancements in the industry now, there's always a learning opportunity and a learning need for everything new that comes out. This would probably apply mainly to electrics and electronics, which is taught here with us in the course. So yes, there's always scope for learning and scope for opportunity within the workplace and the engineering sector.
Okay, that's great. And as we were saying earlier, over 90% of our graduates either enter employment or progress on to further education immediately after completion of their course, which is a really good success story. We're almost at the end of this virtual event, but remember we're still live, so keep giving us those thumbs up. But before we finish, I just want to take a few minutes to recap on what we've heard this evening. So at Greenmount Campus, we deliver a Level 3 Advanced Extended Technical Diploma in Land-Based Engineering. It is a 2-year course which involves a mixture of theory and practical on campus, but also an important element is the work placement. And we have support from the team on site to help organise that work placement for the students. After graduation, there's various opportunities for a land-based engineering graduate, be it employment or progressing onto a higher level course, as the course itself is equivalent to 3 A levels. Full details about the course can be found on the CAFRE website, and there's also a very informative webinar on the website, which again recaps on a lot of information we've covered tonight, gives details of the entry criteria and the application process for the course. So at this stage, I just want to thank everyone for listening this evening. I hope you found the virtual event interesting and informative. And please, if you are interested in finding out more information on the land-based engineering course, please visit our website or make contact with Bernard, who can hopefully answer any of your queries. And certainly, if you wish to make an application, please apply online and we'll be in touch as soon as we get it. So I want to thank everyone for taking part tonight. Thanks to Bernard for joining me in this virtual event, and to the students and the staff who took part in the virtual tours and the interviews, and also to the production team who organised the event and made sure everything ran smoothly throughout this evening. So again, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I look forward to welcoming you, some of you, to Greenmount in the near future, but for now I'll say thank you and good evening.